What is up, guys? Fahir here from AwesomeTuts.com. Now, what we are going to do is we are going to program our bonus block, because our bonus block will give coins or points to the player when he, punches it with his head. Yeah, punches it with his head, okay? That's a new term in English language. Remember it. Anyways, what we need to do is go in our blocks parent, and for the bonus block, we are going to right click and create an empty game object as a child, and this is going to, be collision bottom. So collision bottom, and we are going to position this bad boy at negative 1.116, something like that. So negative 1.116, which is around here, and we are going to go here in collectible items, and I'm going to drag and drop the bonus block like this. Now, let me just select all other bonus blocks. We do need to do the same thing for them now, because I did not add that when the time was right. So we need to do it now. Simply select them, right click, and create an empty game object below all of those dudes. And let me just select it. So we have a bonus block right here, bonus block right here. And we do need to rename all of these. So I'm gonna rename. Let's see if we can rename them like this. No, we cannot. We need to rename them one by one. So this one is going to be collision bottom. And this one also is going to be collision bottom. This one also collision bottom and collision bottom. So we need to copy the position for all of these. So this one also, let me just select it. Collision bottom. Select this one, and set their Y position at negative 1.116. So now what we need to do, we need to create a script for them. So we need to go here inside of our scripts folder, right click, create a new folder, which I'm gonna call, let's say, collectible. So collectible scripts like this. And here, we're gonna right click and create a new C# script, which I am going to call bonus block. So bonus block, and attach it on all of these bad dudes right here. So this one, this one, this one, and this one. Drag and drop it on all of these. Let me see if this will drag and drop. No, we need to do it manually on every single one of them. So drag and drop here, drag and drop here, and drag and drop right here. The last one is right here, so drag and drop it on him as well. So now, going inside of our collectible script or bonus block, tag it with the class, hold space. As always, I don't even have to tell you that. We need a couple of variables. The first one is going to be the public transform, which is going to be our bottom underscore collision. Now, before we continue, let us attach this collision or the game object inside of the script. So take the bonus block like this and attach the collision bottom. I'm gonna hit apply so that the change applies to the prefab. Select this one and attach his bonus or collision bottom. Attach for the other one, so also right here, drag and drop, this one right here, drag and drop, and the last one, drag and drop, and voila, we are good to go. So if we go back now, we have the public bottom collision. We also need a private animator, which I'm going to call anim, so that we can animate him. We need a public layer mask, which is going to be our player layer as always. Before we also continue, let's select all of these game objects. So this one, come on, select it. This one, this one, this one, this one, right here, and the last one. And we are gonna set the layer to the player. So let's see if this actually works on all of these, like by bulk, so that I can select all of them and I can, add the appropriate layer to them. Now select the bonus block that is a prefab, and for the prefab one, you are going to hit apply so that the change applies to the prefab. So now if we go back here in our script, we also need a private vector3. This is going to be our move direction, which is going to be equal to vector3.up. This is the initial movement. We are also going to have vector3 origin position. So position like this. It's going to be private as well. We are also going to have a vector 3, which is going to be our anim position like this, and it's going to be private vector 3. And we are going to have a private bool, which is going to be start anim or start the animation. Now, inside of the awake function, we're going to get a reference to our animator. So void awake. And here we're simply going to say our anim is equal to get component animator, which is our animator component. And in the start function, we are going to take the origin position and set it to transform that position, because this is our original, or the position that we are starting from. Our anim position is going to be equal to transform that position, and our anim position, so anim position dot y, we are going to add to it 0.15. This is just so that we can move the block up and down. We are going to do the following. When we hit the block, so the block is here. When our player jumps, so this is our player, when he jumps and hits the block right here, the block is going to go up a little bit, maybe up to here, and then it's going to go back up to here with his original, and this is our block. It has M on it. So when we hit him, he will go up and then he will go back down, animating up and down. So in order for him to go up, this is the position where he needs to go to. So the origin position, which is transform position, plus equals to 0.15 on the y, which is just a little bit up, well, a little bit above him. Now, inside of the update, we're going to call two functions that we're going to create. The first one is going to be void check for collision, like this. And the second one is going to be void animate up down. Now, both of these we're going to call them in the update. So check for collision like this, and animate up down. So up down like this. They're going to be called in the update because we are going to check first for the collision. When the collision happens, we are going to animate our block. Now, in check for collision, we're simply going to say our raycast hit 2D, which I'm going to call hit is equal to physics 2D dot raycast. And we're going to raycast from the bottom collision dot position towards the down direction, so vector 2 down, with the 0.1, which is the distance or the length of the vector, and we are searching for the player layer. Now, we talked about this. We talked about what is physics 2D. We talked about what is a raycast hit 2D. Now, here we are raycasting a line from this position, which is our bottom collision, that we have added that pair or child game object under the block or the bonus block. So from that position, we are going in the down direction. This is the length of the ray, so 0.1, so 0.1, not 0.1. It's 0.1, and we are searching for the game object that is on the player layer. If we have a hit, so if we hit a game object, if we touch something, we are going to test if our hit.collider.gameObject.tag is equal to my tag's player tag. This is just a double check, but hey, we don't actually need this. But it is a good thing to have double checks in your code sometimes, because maybe you will make a mistake, at least for debugging purposes. Then for the deployment of the app, you will remove it. But if we have a hit, and if the collider's game object tag is equal to the player tag, we are going to do what? We are going to increase the score. So increase score by calling our player score script. So game object find, calling the player score script and increasing the score if we have the score or if we have coins. And then we are going to call our anim.play to play the idle animation. So idle animation. And our start anim, so start anim is now equal to true. What is happening in the start anim? Well, in the start anim, we're going to say if start anim, if that is true, and we're setting that to be true right here, we are going to do what? We're going to say transform.translate, and we're going to translate in the move direction. So move direction, multiply that with time.smooth delta time. We talked about this. We did this numerous of times. It is simply going to move our game object in this direction, which is vector 3 up You see here, it's going to go up to vector 3 up. And next we are going to say if our transform dot position dot y is greater or equal to anim position dot y. So if it's greater or equal to anim position dot y, we're going to say move direction is equal to vector 3 dot down. Else, if that is not true, so else if our transform dot position dot y is less than or equal to the origin position dot y, we are going to stop the animation. So here we're going to say start anim is now equal to false. What is going on right here in this code? Well, first of all, as I said, taking the highlight tool again, here is our block with the M here. This is our player who jumps and hits the block at the bottom. Now our block, and let me just draw it again a little bit prettier. So come on, open highlight tool. This is our block. M here. This is our player. Like this. He jumps and hits the block right here. So what is going on? Well, first of all, when we start the anim, we are going to move our game object in the move direction. Currently, the move direction is up. So we are going upwards, which is what I said. When we hit it from down, it's going to go up. Now, we do need to check up to where are we going up? We are going up to the anim position dot y, which we did already. We calculated that. We added 0.15 to it. So anim position dot y is the position where we are going towards to. And while our transform position, or if the transform position y is greater or equal to that position, that means we have reached that position is here. We reached it. So now we need to go back down. And that's why this code right here. So now the move direction is downwards, which means now we are going downwards. And while we are going downwards, we need to check if our current position is less than or equal to the original position where we were initially, meaning somewhere around here. So here. If that is true, then start anim is now false and we don't animate again. So this is what we are doing here because again, you see anim position plus 0.15 is up to where we are going. And initially that is upwards. So vector 3 up because on the y-axis plus is up. Minus is down. So move direction is vector 3 up and we are going up to this position. So when the start anim is true, we will start moving the game object, which is our block, up to this position right here. So up to anim.y plus 0.15. As long or when our own position, the position of the block, is greater or equal to that position, we are going to start moving down. And when our position is less than or equal to the original position, which is, well, this one right here, origin position, the one that we started our game, then we're going to stop animating our game object. Let's test it out. If we go back here and if I hit the play button, you will see that when I hit the block, you see, please notice at the block, let's go here. And when I hit the block, it's going to go a little bit up and move down. You see, bam, you saw that? You saw it went up and then it went down. You see, bam, let me go here, bam, it went up and then down. But why isn't it playing the idle invalid layer index? Let me see here. It's block idle. So here, the name of the animation is block idle. If I go back here, it's actually block idle and not, well, it's not only idle. We can add one more variable here. We can say private bool can animate, which by default is equal to true. So here we can use can animate and we can test for all of this right here. So we can test if can animate, then we are going to check for the raycast. And if all of that happens, start anim is true and can animate is now equal to false so that we don't recheck this code again. So if we can animate, we are going to raycast and do all of these good things right here. All of this applies to the previous explanation, except that here we're testing if we can animate so that when we call our block idle and the block is, let's say, disabled, it's been used, we don't want to animate it again. Except if you do, then, well, you are not going to use this check right here. So then can animate will be false, but initially you need to set it to be true. Because if I go back here again and hit the play button, let's go up to the block. Here is our block. Bam. I did not hit it. Bam. I hit it. You see, bam. If I hit it again, it will not animate. and bam, it will not animate. So yeah, anyways, this was for our bonus block. Now, increasing the score, I'm gonna leave that up to you. Be creative. You can use our player score script. Here it is. You can get it. Add a little bit lines of code to increase the score. Maybe increase the coin count. So increase the coin count by 1 or 2 or 10 or 20, however you want it, because let's pretend that from that bonus block you get coins. And if you get coins, then increase the score. I'm gonna leave that up to you, which is pretty easy. Just create a public void script and increase the coin score. I told you already everything. Just increase the score count here and then just display that score count in the coin text. But you will need to, well, call here inside of our hit, you will need to call game object, find the player, or initially find the player right here, and then get his component and then call that function. Fahir here from AwesomeTunes.com. I will see you guys in the next video.